Welcome back, everyone. Here we are at the final game of the week, which is our featured matchup between Fnatic and Millennium. It's a biggie, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, Fnatic had a tough match against Alliance, where they finally fell after a 50-minute battle. That was the end of an 8-game win streak, of course, and I wonder if that loss will have an effect on the team. Regardless, though, they are still looking incredibly strong. As Froggen even mentioned yesterday, he fully expects to be facing Fnatic in the regional finals at Gamescom. Big praise indeed, of course, to get there. They still need to secure their spot in the seedings. They are now secure in the playoffs. Question is, can they continue to hold that second place? Head-to-heads are important, of course, at this stage, especially against Millennium, who are chasing them in third place. They currently lead this head-to-head 2-1.
Yeah, and if you do look at the game yesterday against Alliance, very tactical game. Good rotations from Fnatic. A lot of focus on killing towers, but they never wanted to fight Alliance. They never wanted to contest any dragons. They lost 5 out of 6 dragons against Alliance. Therefore, fell very far behind in gold and couldn't actually do anything. And I have to question their decision-making in the game because they picked Jarvan in a comp where you actually want to kite because they had Ziggs and Jinx. And yet that Jarvan kind of out of place because Source as well, he built full tank on Gragas. So they didn't really have any all-in potential with like a Gragas on a Jarvan. And Jinx and Ziggs, they kind of want to kite and have Alliance engage on them. So it was a bit of a weird comp from Fnatic, and they didn't know what to do because they actually never tried to engage onto Alliance.
We also had Froggen, of course, yesterday talking about the build possibilities that obviously Soaz builds on that Gragas, saying, you know, it kind of hampered them because they had Aurelia. It was going to do a lot more damage, and of course the tank wasn't enough. Millennium, though, on the other side, played an impressive game yesterday against the Copenhagen Wolves, running an unorthodox Yasuo in the top lane for Kevin and Zillion in the mid lane for Kerb, which fitted their team comp superbly. It was a great play from Jerry at Dragon that set them up for the game.
And it was such a good game by Millennium. Very aggressive play, and they really used this mid-game comp well because they knew as soon as we hit Death Cap on our Zillion mid lane, we just look for team fights, and it worked for them. The hook coming in from Jerry, of course, set up the ulti from Kevin, and then your double bomb from Kerb to just destroy Copenhagen Wolves. And Kerb on Zillion itself was actually a pretty cool pick because Millennium is such an aggressive team and they know how to close out games. And then you have Yasuo in the top lane. You don't actually need a tank when you have a Zillion because you have this ulti. So Kevin could go all in, get the bombs from Kerb, and then stay alive, or get back to life if Kerb wanted to at least give him the ult here. And now they go into a very important game against Fnatic because both these teams have a chance of securing second place, of course. Millennium are 2 wins behind Fnatic at the moment, and if they win here, we go into Super Week with a very close race between Millennium, super hot crew, Fnatic, even SK Gaming, who just won today. All the teams will be battling for this number 2 spot, which means you go straight into the semi-final. You skip the quarterfinals if you do get top 2 in the league, so it's very important for these teams.
Yeah, that Super Week could be massive for both these teams. Of course, Millennium and Fnatic, they are both wary of each other's aggressive gameplay. And while Cyanide is concerned about Kerb in the mid lane, the team hopes their coach, Aaron Nair, can give the edge over his former teammates.
I think they are like probably the best team at the moment in Europe, so it will be a really hard game to win against them.
Millennium is always this team that normally you don't think that they are really good, but sometimes they have really surprising results. Like especially I think their mid laner, he's a really skilled player, so if he gets ahead it can be a real pain, so he can almost carry along.
They play a lot more aggressive than most other teams, and especially the support and the top lane just move around the map way more often than any other.
We don't prepare different versus Millennium like we do against any other team. We always have the same sort of rhythm lately with Arena. Of course, he has some in general insight about this guy can carry a game if he gets rolling, or this guy has troubles if he gets camped.
He tells us some stuff, and it's kind of helpful because he knows how some guys are in the team, and if you pick on them, they will get mad or others, so it's really good.
I think we have to prepare extra time for them because they are so good. So find a weakness in their team.
Yeah, dirty little insight that Aaron Nair has given over his former teammates to Fnatic. Not sure whether they needed it, but it's also always a helping hand.
Always helps. I mean, Millennium looked very good lately. I did talk with them before the game, and they have their own little tactic. It's called Camp Reckless. And just destroy him, and then he's completely out of the game, and they will win.
We'll see how it works
It's their
out
tactic,
for
not
them.
mine.
Let's check the starting lineups for these two teams. Over on the blue side, it's Fnatic. That means in the top lane, we have Soaz. In the jungle, it is Cyanide. Peke in the mid lane, Reckless as AD carry, and Yellowstar on support.
On the red side, Millennium with Kevin in the top lane, Codnex in the jungle, Curb, of course, is the mid laner, Creaton on AD carry, and Jerry on support.
So many of you know that due to Lucian's rework in 4.12 patch, he is currently banned in the LCS. So we want to draw your attention to both the AD carries Reckless and Creaton, who have been excelling on other champions in their roles.
And if we start with Reckless, then we can of course look at his Vayne. He went 18-0 against the Wolves last week, and he's currently undefeated on Vayne, played 3 games, and he's picked up 32 kills, died once, and he also has 16 assists. Pretty impressive stats here. Creaton, he's preferred to play Corki instead, and we saw him also destroy the Wolves. The Wolves, they don't really like these AD carries. Yesterday, where he went 10-1 and 7, he's played it 4 times, and sick numbers as well, like 37 kills here, only died a few times, 35 assists on Corgi as well. So brilliant performance by both the AD carries, and it's really safe to say they are among the top AD carries here in Europe, and they have shown before, even without Lucian, they can carry games for the team.
Yeah, it's great to see, Creaton back to his best, back to his former self. Before he broke his arm way back in 2013, of course. They were a shot at getting into the Worlds back in Season 3. Can they do it in 2014? Let's check to see who you guys think is favorite. According to lolesports.com, well, no surprises. The Fnatic fan base has come out in force. They are 80% ahead in the vote.
Again, if we do ignore the loss from yesterday, 8-game win streak, and looking fantastic, we kept talking about how Fnatic now always know when to play really well, heading into Super Week, heading into playoffs. They will be the favorites, but against Millennium, you never really know here. If we see Cillian mid again, and then Millennium just trying to snowball the game, good work.
Every time I think of these two teams when they face each other, I think back to the Intel Extreme Masters in Katowice, that big long slog they had. I think it was a 60-70 minute game. And honestly, either team could have won that back then.
I feel like it's the old Millennium style, where they like to play the long, drawn-out games. Again, remember promotion tournament against NIP?
Oh, good lord.
7 hours for best out of 5. Like, it was very, very long. But now the new one here is more like all or nothing.
Yeah.
Just go and see if we can win. If not, well...
They are a team that loves the fight, that's for sure. And that's what I like to see. That's what I like to cast. Let's see how it works out. Cillian ban!
Oh.
Wow. You're not getting that one, Kurt. Straight away. Plays it once, banned from him ever for life.
I feel like it's a little bit like banning Riven against Shook. We don't really know how to deal with it, so we're just gonna ban it. Not gonna take any chances. And Fnatic, of course, are on the blue side, so don't have to ban the Kassadin.
Millennium not making the same mistake. They ban out Kassadin, making sure that's taken away. Aatrox banned out. Kevin, well, he didn't favor it too much yesterday. Of course, the Yasuo was the consideration for him, but that was, I feel, potentially a one-off tactic. I don't think they're going to run with that one this time around.
Let's see here. Oh, Syndra being taken away.
That's a big one.
Yeah, fun fact here. The last, or 2 times this split, Fnatic has actually played Syndra against Curb because they like to put a lane bully against him to try and shut him down the laning phase. Because Millennium are a team who rely a lot on Curb getting a good start in his laning phase. So if you do play a lane bully against him and you manage to shut him down, you shut down the entire Millennium.
Fizzban maybe from Fnatic here. Let's see.
Fizzban. Twisted Fate is open
No,
as well.
Lee Sin. That's
Maybe
an
Expector
interesting
wants
one.
to play Fizz.
Well, Cotnex is very, very strong on Lee Sin, that's for sure. So well worth the ban against him. Has 8 wins in 11 games on Lee Sin. So, of course, we saw him playing it yesterday to great effect. Final ban for Millennium. What are they going to go with? Well, they ban out the Fizz.
Okay, so because Fnatic didn't ban away Fizz, Millennium here expect them to actually first pick it and don't want to take the risk. Twisted Fate is open. Gragas is open for Source in the top lane. Lulu could be an option too. And then Evelynn, if they take Evelynn instead of Gragas, with Elise being open as well, with Ringar, Jarvan, whatever junglers we have, I feel like it's a mistake from Fnatic here.
It's a big favorite, though, for Cyanide. He has got 6 wins in 7 games on Evelynn. It is his, I guess you could say, most successful jungler. So
True.
Following, it's no surprises. Maybe it's just making a comfort pit for him.
But still, I mean, you could have gotten a Gragas here. Okay, if Millennium doesn't actually play Gragas, maybe Fnatic has scouted them well enough to say Kevin clearly doesn't play Gragas. But I know in the mid lane, okay, never mind. It has actually already been locked in here. So you do give away currently the #1 top pick. If you ask multiple top laners, to get a comfort pick on your jungler. Sure, if Sana goes crazy in this game here, it could work out, but there's a lot of jungle options open still for someone like Cotnex to pick.
The irony is, while people do count him as the #1 top pick, it's not actually been that successful. There's been a lot of counters to him. We'll see whether maybe Soaz, who, if anyone has something up their sleeve, it will be him, as a counter to it. Thresh, of course, was picked for J-Ree. We've seen him in Hook City with Blitzcrank before and had some great games. Yesterday, of course, on Thresh was the big key catalyst to that big fight that happened. So, Lulu and Kog'Maw picked in. Kog'Maw's been banned out a couple of times today.
Yeah.
Reckless is going to get his hands on that one.
Just overall, one of the strongest AD carries. We have good laning phase. Even your mid game is fine if you do build Trinity Force into Blade. And of course, your late game, we know you're an absolute beast. And with this Lulu here, I expect it to be top lane for Stores against Gragas, because if you do take Lulu mid against Curb, you won't apply a lot of pressure onto him. It's better to get it top lane here, can farm against Gragas, and then both will bring utility when it comes to team fights.
So Twisted Fate is still available, remember. So we'll see whether anyone wants to go for that one. Elise and Corki currently being hovered over by Millennium. They would be, I would say, standard choices, honestly, for either team at this stage. Corki being great success. We said that crazy stat, 37, 335 or something like that for Kraton. Rengar locked in.
Nice.
That's going to be Cotnex in the jungle.
Finally.
Wow, finally indeed. Of course, Dandy ran it to massive success the other day. Spirit running it today over in the OGN. So, big pick in career. Honestly, probably one of the #1 jungle picks currently. And actually, they all playing pretty aggressively. Spirit today went full defensive, though.
Yeah, so normally you go Feral Flare, and then you have two options. Either you go like full damage from there and you try to assassinate people. If you do want to, if you have a pick comp and you like to split push around, you can go the full assassin ringer and just try and get kills, pick people off who's pushing the lanes. Otherwise, you can go full tank after you Feral Flare and just focus on engaging team fights. You get a lot of cooldown reduction. You basically just become the main engage, and it's so hard to avoid Ringer's engage because he stealths and then he jumps towards you and he roots you with his E, and you're just locked in. The rest of Millennium can then follow up here. Again, you got the hook from J-Ree. Kevin can knock you back into the team here, so a lot of engage potential for Millennium.
So, Zyra pulled back out for Yellow Star. It's a champion he favored a long time ago, but more importantly, this is the big one. Peke, if you were to look at him right now, played a lot last night on Ahri.
Spammed it last night, and we saw Selfie play both games this week here. It's very, very strong pick. Got a small change here in 4.12. Less mana cost on Q and slightly better AP ratio, so a small buff here. But generally, it works really well as this mage assassin. Again, also with the Fiend's nerfs we saw some patches ago, and land your charm, land your DFG, and it's bye-bye.
Well, it looks like it may be Gragas in the middle, so it will be a little bit more tankier. That, of course, would put Kevin onto potentially Shyvana at the moment. They're discussing it to see what they want to go with. Shyvana, I wouldn't say a terribly strong pick for Kevin. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe going to switch here. Aurelia, though, against the Lulu, that's a tricky lane.
Yeah, let's see how he wants to handle it here. Of course, with the range advantage for Lulu, but Aurelia does have the option to actually jump onto him and try and pressure him. So, and with also the sustain on Aurelia, I'm not too sure if Kevin is going to be in too much trouble. And he also plays a lot of Aurelia, so he will know the matchup really well. And if you look at the side of Fnatic, they've gone for a bit of a mix in the combo. So you have Ahri and Evelynn to kind of pick people off.
A lot of magic damage.
There's a lot of magic damage, and then you have like the potential to pick people off with Ahri and Evelynn. And then you also have Lulu and Zyra now to protect Reckless in these team fights. So you got a bit of everything here from the side of Fnatic, except for a lot of physical damage, which you don't have. It's all about Reckless here and his auto attacks. The rest is pure magic, so it means Millennium can stack a lot of magic resist here and make it very hard for Fnatic to actually kill them in these team fights.
Well, ironically, they are both teams that love to do pick comps, and it seems like they're going to try and do it once again, of course. With the picks now in, which one of our featured AD carries do you think will go OP? Tweet at LOL's Esports and use the hashtag Reckless or hashtag Kraton, and we'll check out the results in game. Of course, that is Kog'Maw versus Corki. Corki stats for Kraton are unbelievable. I'm trying to think of the Kog'Maw stats. I can't remember too often for Reckless. It's interesting. I love the fact now that Lucian is now off the cards. For now, we'll be back. We'll be back soon. but it has opened up a number of options for AD carries. And suddenly we're seeing variety.
Yeah, we even saw Jinx yesterday. We haven't
Yeah.
seen her in a while. We don't really see Twitch here in Europe.
Yeah, which is strange because
Well,
it's still
again-
considered the #1 pick over in Korea.
At least one of them.
Yeah.
Over in Korea, they love to play it. still, but
More generally banned out as well.
it just seems Korea, they favor really the pick style a bit more, and they play a more aggressive version than we do here in Europe. Where it's more of like safe pick styles you have. But let's see what Fnatic can do with this. Are in the mid lane from Expected.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Final game of Week 10. Super Week looms. Fnatic currently 2nd place on the table as the blue side up against Millennium, 3rd place in the standings, chasing hard on Fnatic. A win here would be wonderful for them. Kevin almost forgot to buy there and decided to last minute get it.
And a lot of mid-game focus here from Millennium. You have Corki, who's really good in the mid-game once you get your Trinity Force. Same goes for Irelia. Her big power spike is once she completes Trinity Force, and then she can actually jump your squishy members and 100% to 0 them very, very easily. And then normally build tank afterwards, so you can now become this tank in the late game team fights, but you won't really be able to kill people by yourself when you go late. And the same thing can be said actually about most of the members on Millennium side. Gragas, a bit of the same deal. He is very, very strong, especially in the mid-game points, but real late game, he doesn't have the same scalings he used to have. We have, of course, seen the full AP Gragas destroy people anyway, just a little bit harder than before. So Millennium, a lot of focus on this mid-game, where Fnatic can afford to go late, mainly due to Reckless.
Yellowstar went very far forward to get a little bit of information in that top lane. Give them some vision. Did, of course, get that ward in the tri-bush, so they saw that Kevin was indeed in that top. It is going to be a red buff start. And remember, Fnatic went pretty aggressive on the red buff yesterday against Alliance, and maybe that is why Millennium are playing so defensive right now in this top half of the jungle.
And we do actually see Fnatic,
Ooh,
they
it's a late
don't want
invade.
to do anything. Reckless down this bottom lane, so Millennium might be able to...
This is a delayed invade, absolutely.
force
They're going
Sana away, I
to
think.
go straight across the ward, though.
Yeah, they spotted his Sana still. Next thing I know, he's going to move away from his own blue buff, and instantly Fnatic ping Millennium's blue buff. They already have the dual lane down there, so they can move up. Yellowstar been sent in to just ward it and make sure Cotnex didn't start his own blue buff.
And look at Reckless holding the lane. Keeping it
Lovely little trick.
just off at the side there.
And notice here how now every single minion is actually hitting the very first minion from Reckless, and therefore he will now start pushing towards Reckless, and he can freeze the lane. It's the reason he move in, group the enemy minions, it's like just punch, pile them together, so they will target your very first minion, and therefore he started a small freeze now. If he keeps it frozen, he can just stay there for the next 10 minutes.
Well, we'll see if he lets it go or not. At the moment, though, blue buff was picked up by Cotnex, and that's going to continue around. Took the Wraith down, so he's going to go up towards it. Are we going to see some good old 4-0 maneuvers? At the moment, buddy system well in effect for both Millennium and Fnatic, as Reckless continues to freeze out that top lane, bottom lane.
Definitely not going to see 4-0 in this bottom lane because he's freezing the lane. So he doesn't even want to get close to this tower at this point. And Yellowstar probably doesn't want to get his level 2, and then he can move away from the lane. It's actually going to be a very, very early Dragon Fnatic here. Nobody from Millennium is even close. So it should be a fairly easy Dragon now.
Yeah, the shield, of course, from Soaz on Cyanide will help out on this one. You can see Yellowstar trying to dodge in and out. It is focusing back and forward. Oh, it did finally hit Cyanide, so it's not quite working out. There's the shield. That's going to be enough. Yellowstar doing what he can. And basically, all he's doing right now is basically juggling aggro. The idea is, if you can do it right, nobody gets hit.
Yeah, because you only level 2
It's
at
working
this
out.
point.
Look, they're barely
It's working.
getting hit.
It took
at
a
all.
few hits,
Yeah.
but still, they're going to get it. And when you are level 2, you're going to take so much damage from the dragon, so it's way too risky to just standard tank it, so you have to do this dance here. Normally, when we do have these lane swaps, we actually see the team who's in the top side send the support, the jungler, and top laner down towards the dragon to make sure you don't start at very early dragon, because if Millennium had been nearby, they would have been able to stop Fnatic, maybe even pick up a kill. However, because they started the Fnatic blue buff, they moved to their own red buff, they were way too far away, way too slow, and Fnatic could take the very easy dragon.
The gank attempt, oh dear, that stood right on top of a ward. Kevin and Jerry, that's not going to work out for them. So, pressure on the tower actually in the top lane. Looks like Creaton is going to start pushing this one in. Cotnex was finally about to go back. Well, he's going to, of course, go for the Madreds. Creaton just happy to hold on, not pushing too heavily on the tower. They're happy to just hold these waves, both top and bottom. And that's going to cause problems for now Kevin and Soaz as they finally return to lane.
And this is a smart thing about the Millennium lane swap against Evelynn. it's always good to land drop because you kind of remove her stealth pressure. She's now either forced to just sit and farm in a jungle or roam around as a group, which you're going to spot anyway, move towards your lanes to actually set up a gank or push out of the lanes. You won't really be able to just gank like we normally see Evelynn if it's standard lanes. Where also now Cotnex gets some time to just sit and farm because nothing is really happening in any of the lanes due to both AD carries freezing.
Well, we've had a long time looking across all the lanes. We haven't had a chance to talk about this mid lane pairing that Kerp and Peke are running. So often, as you mentioned, it has been Syndra a couple of times for Peke against Kerp. They need to lock him down. Kerp did go back and get himself the triple thorns and put a pink ward, actually, just in that side bush. Peke teleporting back to lane, something we also didn't mention, by the way. Goes for the Fiendish Codex first instead of the Holy Grail that is the Chalice.
The Chalice, yeah, okay. So doesn't want the mana regen early here, but Kerp, triple thorns, full focus on the lane, get some extra HP as well, so the all-in potential from Xpeke becomes pretty much a non-factor here early on until Xpeke can pick up a DFG. He won't be able to take down Kerp by himself unless Kerp really misplays it. Cyanide, however, moving down towards this bottom lane. Reckless will push in a massive wave. It's all about now denying the farm away from Kevin. Millennium, however, have already sent Jerry and Cotnex down towards this bottom side, so they know there's a chance of Fnatic to try and move into this tower here and force Kevin away, because he needs all this farm here, otherwise he will fall very far behind.
You see Kerp shoving in. I'm not sure whether Pink Ward spotted Cyanide or not. I don't think it did. It would have given a warning sign to Cyanide that there is a Pink Ward nearby, and he would have hunted that out immediately. He's going to be taking his Wraiths. We do see Cotnex continuing his path as well. It's always interesting to get a chance to discuss players, builds, items with these players. We did get Cotnex, of course, up on the couch yesterday as we were watching this Fnatic Alliance game yesterday.
Notice Source up in his top lane. He's just sitting in the bush, getting XP from the minions, but he doesn't actually get any farm, which is a big issue for him. He needs to go in, push the wave out into the tower of Millennium, reset it, so he can actually get some farm here. For now, he's just waiting. Seems though Kraton decided actually to push it down, so he will get the farm. Yesterday against Alliance, he didn't do it. He waited in the bush for like a minute, didn't get a single CS, but got some experience, but it meant he fell so far behind compared to Wicked and couldn't actually do anything on Gragas, had to build full tank. He is slightly behind compared to Kevin, but this time around he did actually get the minions down towards him, so it paid off for him to wait. Got some XP, got some farm, didn't take any damage either.
Well, Blue Buff about to respawn, and Cyanide is there, ready and waiting. Yellow Star also going to come around. Look at this though, J-Ree is going to come around the side, spots it with a plant, the Pink Ward. Now Cotnex is nearby. It's going to be a smite fight, and I think Millennium are going to win it because Fnatic will back out and play it safe.
Alright, so Fnatic just moving in to see how many members from Millennium are nearby. Seems like there's a lot. Oh, interrupting Yellow Star. Doesn't actually want to go for it, just be annoying. Blue Buff over the curb, so while it's not standard lanes yet, we do have AD carry versus top lane up in the top side. And then this bottom lane, it's actually Kevin playing with Jerry just to make sure. Jerry's only there to make sure Kevin won't be in a situation where the lane once again will freeze and Reckless can just deny Kevin all the farm. So Jerry needs to stay nearby so Kevin can get all the farm he needs. Yes, they do share the XP, but still, now it's about the farm.
Blue Buff will go across the Peke. Blue Buff went across the Kerp already as well. So, the farm race will begin in this mid lane as the Wraiths will start to fall. Both of them will be aiming for it. Dragon's up in a minute. And of course, that was picked up by Fnatic and the early start. Grasping route on towards J-Ree. Kevin trying to show some aggression there. Actually gets a ton of damage back on him from Reckless and Yellow Star for the pleasure of dashing forward.
Cotnex did hit his level 6 now. Picked up red buff. Moving towards this top lane, but Cyanide is already there. So maybe now Fnatic are expecting Millennium to set something up. Level 7 on Corki, so he's Kraton at the moment is very, very strong. They did actually spot Cotnex, he just cleared the ward.
Tower's going to go. That's the last hit. And there is the first tower. Kraton will take that down for Millennium. The backup was there, it wasn't required. Soaz has to step away from this now defenseless lane. Kraton will clear out this wave and back off to buy. So
he didn't actually push the wave out here.
Well, we'll see whether he wants to stick around there. It looks like the bottom lane are both backing off as well. So seems that Kevin is going to change lane. And that will be the AD carries now heading down towards the bottom. So Phage and Sheen were picked up by Kraton on that back.
Alright, so what Source is doing here, he's actually pushing the wave back because he wants to recall before a potential dragon fight. He does have teleport, but if he joins in now, he only has 2 Doran's rings, so he won't be able to do too much. So you want to push the wave in, get Kevin to join in for this top lane, and then they can either both use the teleport down towards this dragon, or Source might have time to actually go back, wait for his team to delay the dragon, and then run towards it. So he's just pushing it into the tower here, so smart move by Source. And also, I guess the reason Christian didn't actually bother pushing it all the way out, because he knew there was a high chance Source would just push it back anyway.
I think he wanted to give some CS to his top laner as well, maybe, who knows. Got himself that phage, so as he's going to shove that wave, as you mentioned, Kevin should be able to hold this one fairly easily and clean out the CS. The question is, how quick did Fnatic react? How quick did they go for that dragon? Will they dash straight for it? Kevin wipes out this wave, no problems there. He's going to get every little bit of CS. Cotnex is going to try and make a play. Stealth goes in. He's going to get on towards Yellowstar, spots him out, pounces, gets the root down on him. Yellowstar in trouble and just gets destroyed for a simple first blood for Millennium.
The ganks from Rengar are so strong. He jumps towards you, instantly just roots you in place, and then Jerry can follow up, create him with all the damage. Yellowstar had only one choice. Flash instantly as he saw the mark above his head, but you don't even know if you're going to be the target here. It's very, very hard to deal with Rengar once he actually ganks after level 6. A good setup. Millennium, however, because it was only Yellowstar they killed, didn't feel like they could actually go towards the dragon.
Yeah, Millennium, they had a ward on it, so they know that it's up, they know the timer's on it. Of course, they had the vision, so they did have enough to go for it, but instead don't choose to. So as back in this top lane, Triple Doran's ring was picked up along with the Fiendish Conex. Nomicon now picked up by Peke and completed. Rod of Ages meanwhile, so it looks like Kerb. Is he going to rush that death cap again?
Seems like it. I mean, yesterday on Zillion, it was because he died to the first blood, bought Triple Doran's ring, and he was like, no reason for me to go Fiends now. I need some AP, I need more AP instantly to be strong in the mid game, so he went straight for death cap. Might do the same thing here. On this Vargas, I mean, there's not really... He could go Hourglass against an Ahri, but with all the magic damage on the side of Fnatic, the armor itself won't really do anything.
Yeah, Abyssal Scepters all round, maybe. We'll see how it works out for him.
Banshees for everyone.
Banshees for everyone, indeed. So, still Fnatic the favourites in the vote. No surprises. The Fnatic fan base is very strong. Ward's going to get swept out and cleaned by Cotnex. And now Millennium, are they going to try and go for it? Cotnex is backing off, actually. Fnatic are grouping. We do still see the 2 top laners, of course. Both could interrupt one another. And it's Fnatic that are going to move in for the second dragon. Just the second Cotnex backed off.
Yeah, simply means Millennium probably have to give it up. They're actually staying around. Kerb might want to try and steal it.
Nope, not going to happen. Explosive cast come in. It was actually Yellowstar that got it, so it was close. It was close. It wasn't the smite from Cyno that finished the job.
Huh, and they actually tried to teleport down with Kevin to start a fight and hope Cotnex could join in time while Source had teleport himself. So a bit of a aggressive move here by Millennium, but it was all about Cotnex recalling. Fnatic started at the same time, even though they didn't actually see him recall. And now he's down this bottom lane. Oh, Yellowstar could be the target again.
It's a sneaky cat. Yellowstar caught out and just blown up once again. These are gifting the kills for Kraton.
Again, Yellowstar, same deal. Unless you flash instantly while you see the mark above your head, which you normally don't, so you don't really have a choice.
He wouldn't have seen him then that time because he came out of the bush and he was just completely unseen, even with his ultimate. Didn't he need that to bounce straight in there?
It is so hard to deal with, and you are so squishy as a support early on here. You're just an easy target for Millennium. 2 kills now on to Kraton on Corki. He keeps racking off the kills on this champion. Now Kevin might be in trouble. Flash is ready.
Aghanim Embrace goes down. There is the flash from Kevin. I think he's going to be doing enough. You can see the heat spike's not quite damaging on towards him, and Kevin is safe. Kraton takes down the second turret of the game for Millennium. Top one already down, and Millennium starting to build a small lead over Fnatic here.
This top lane, however, Kevin being forced back means they actually evened it out in CS. There's no teleport on side of Kevin, so he's going to lose a massive wave up in his top side, while Source does have his teleport ready. They didn't actually want to push the tower, even though both Sanad and Source was in the top lane. Not sure if the minions are going to kill it by themselves. Would surprise me a little bit. Not even close.
Not even close. Death Cap picked up by Kerb. Another Fiendish Codex, by the way, picked up by Peke. I guess he's going to go into the Athenes this time around. We'll see where that continues to go. Kevin.
Oh no, it's going to be a DFG now.
Back in, of course it will be, yes, DFG. It's just going to try and blow people up. That's when things are starting to step themselves up. Still only a 2-0 game and very, very tight in gold. Despite, of course, the Dragons going the way of Fnatic with those 2 turrets down. Millennium looking to try and start some pressure. That death sentence, if it had been on point, would have landed on Peke, and that would have been serious trouble.
He would have died instantly. I mean, there was old Radiant Curb, Ignite as well. Actually using it on Yellowstar here, he's really been the guy. Everyone from Millennium just want to join in, picking on Yellowstar.
Well, he does kind of make a lot of the calls, and if you can disrupt his game, maybe that's what they're planning. It's all well and good Fnatic getting the advice from Aranea. Maybe there's a bit going back the other way.
So we do have to stay down this bottom lane where Yellowstar died twice. What you need to do against Rengar, he's going to take it afterwards. He's actually going in for another gank. He wants to Soaz.
Going for Soaz this time around. He's a tanky
out.
target though. He did run out, and so did the stun. It missed actually on towards him. Stun will be back up in a moment. Stranglethorns will pop off. Kevin caught out on that one. He gets slowed with the Glitterland. Soaz can finish him off here. He's going to continue chasing. Should be able to speed himself up. Can he get on towards, get another Glitterland? Splashes on towards him, gets him.
So Cotnex here stealth a little bit too early, so he started running back as soon as he figured something is up here because Kevin moved aggressively forward towards him, backed away, stealth ran out, there was no jump from Cotnex, he didn't actually manage to land his CC and they couldn't get the kill. Curb is trying to bait out something from Xpeke here, could potentially have flash body slam.
Spirit Rush comes in, barrel rolls back out, not going to land, and now Curb having to get away. That tower will hit him. Cyanide gets on towards him, puts the Aghanim Embrace down actually. Not sure what he was hoping to achieve with the follow-up there.
So again, if you just go back to Rengar here and how you avoid the ganks from him, you need deep wards. A bit like warding.
Speed.
Also some speed could help, but like warding, like you ward against a Nocturne, deep inside the enemy jungle. My voice once again.
You just can't. You're just emotional. That's what it is. You're emotionally.
It just makes me so sad to see support die. I mean.
Fnatic though, they're going to get themselves the first turret of the game. It will be the top one, and Reckless will get that. We haven't seen a great deal from the AD carries other than Kratos basically picking up 3 kills down that bottom lane. In terms of farm, it is a big advantage starting to build up by Kratos, and of course those kills have given him that Trinity Force earlier on, but Reckless now with that completed. So where do these two stand? I mean, Kevin's going to freeze the lane here, by the way, on your screen. Where do these two stand? Because they're both equally fed. Who is stronger? Because we're going to hit, what, 20-minute spike, maybe even the 18-minute spike when the next Dragon fight comes around.
Yeah.
And I expect both teams probably want to contest that this time around.
But it's where Millennium needs to win the fight because they have this mid-game setup. You got Trinity Force completed on Corki, so you have the first mid-game power spike. Kevin should be able to get his Trinity Force in time as well, and that's where you're going to be so strong on the side of Millennium, and also Curb rushing this death cap after the triple thorns.
Yellow Star.
So a lot of invested into this mid-game now from Millennium. They need to win the Dragon fight if Fnatic want to try and contest it, because if they do go late game, they might be in trouble.
They knew it. They'd spotted a ward, luckily. And Millennium do back away. There's an ultimate popped by Cotnex. He's stealthed up, but he's not going to go for it. So ultimate wasted. That's not going to work out for them. Of course, they wanted to make that pick. Dragon is up in 40 seconds time. Kevin's going to shove the top wave and teleport down while Soaz has already joined them down here. Kerper's going to come down. It's a 4-on-4 pylon on this turret right now. J-Reek goes in, flash, flay on towards Soaz. Soaz locked up. Wild Growth not quite be enough. Shields himself up. Can he get away? No. Kratos will get himself the kill. It's a revenge kill though for Reckless. He gets himself 1. He gets himself 2. And Millennium are floundering and forced back once again.
And everything was invested onto Source here. They managed to kill him, but then the rest of Fnatic were just saying, fine, we're just gonna pick up 2 kills on our hyper carry. Xpeke didn't even join in, still has ulti ready. And Cotnex, he used ulti in the bush before, so he didn't even do anything in this fight. He just ran in, died, and Fnatic might be able to take a tower here.
Yeah, that teleport did not work out too well there. J-Reek needs to land a perfect death sentence. Remember, Curb does still have that barrel available, so even a Dragon now is a risky maneuver. Of course, it is only 18 minutes into the game, so this death time is incredibly short. They're both already up. Peke has the Spirit Rush around, putting a lot of damage down. J-Reek caught out with Reckless once again. Sniping him in the bush. That almost certainly will be the Dragon for Fnatic once again.
Dragon here. Even teleport on Source in case they need it. Cotnex is nearby. It might be in trouble here.
He's caught out. Grasping Root gets on towards him, and he's got not enough damage. Then Cyanide comes in, gets himself the kill. It is a revenge from Curb. He managed to use that barrel and take down Cyanide. Just off of the side, Curb thinking of continuing. Kevin's like, guys, I'm back. But it's too late. And Fnatic, they could push on the tower.
And notice all the wards around the Dragon here from Fnatic. They know everything Millennium is doing, so they could spot them move from the tower towards the Dragon, land a charm from Peke, going for another fight here, got another kill for Reckless. Just a lot of good wards around this Dragon area at the right time for Fnatic. It also helps you get 2 kills early on, where Millennium actually tried to kill Source with They invested too much onto him. There was no ulti for Cotnex. He wasted it in the bush here. And Millennium couldn't even fight.
I wonder how key it was, the fact that Kevin couldn't get that Trinity Force completed. He's got the 3-item recipe, but hasn't quite got the completion as he came into that fight. I wonder if that was a big part of it. Cotnex now. Actually, it's not going to go for the kill. Yellow Star. Not again, Yellow Star, don't do it. Reckless almost certainly is going to be the focus. Stealths up, gets on towards him, gets the slowdown, but look at the turnaround damage. Reckless on him, will get shut down. Can the Captain Surprise get on towards Cotnex? He's running for his life. Not quite enough. And Millennium do manage to get down that hyper carry.
So this time, Yellow Star flashed away and just left Reckless to die. He was like, I'm done dying. Go, die, my lovely and beautiful. I was about to call him beautiful lady carry. I do not have a man crush on Reckless.
Just Cyanide.
Just Cyanide.
So as in the bottom lane, he's farming up a Storm. Actually, speaking of Yellow Star, he's gone towards the Aether Wisp. We'll see where he builds on towards that one. Of course, it looks like he's gonna go. I'm not sure which. We'll see where he goes with that. He's got a couple of different paths he could head off towards.
I will admit, could be Twin Shadows. Should probably be it.
It should be Twin Shadows, yeah.
I was just trying to make sure, yeah, it's the right items, yeah.
But you never know which way you could go with it.
No, but okay, so how do you counter stealth? You get Twin Shadows.
Well, we just did 2 Swords of the Occult and Meki Solstice in the previous game, so I'm not willing to bet on what the hell they're going to build.
No, but it's simply against Cotnex, so once he tries to engage onto them, you pop Twin Shadows, the Ghost hit him, slow him down, so he won't be able to jump onto you or get in range.
You also find him.
You also find him and you can just kill him if it is. So very smart item choice actually from Yellow Star here, and again, he's done dying. Leave Yellow Star